What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Please Stop Trying to Give Birth at Disneyland. Please. Did you guys know about this? I just found out this is a thing. Women are trying to give birth at Disneyland in order to get a free lifetime pass. Don't do that. As I'm sure you guys are aware, because Disney is such a huge company with so many adoring fans and people love going to Disneyland, there are a ton of like urban legends and lore surrounding the Disney parks. You guys may have heard of some of the more outlandish ones, like there's one that like Walt Disney's head is like frozen and buried somewhere at Disneyland or something, or like it's like Buzz Lightyear's head on the Toy Story ride or something like that. But today I wanted to sort of dive into some of the urban legends surrounding the Disney parks. Mostly the strange things that Disney adults do at the Disney parks. Although some of these things are so weird that I hesitate to call these people Disney adults, some of these things are a little extreme. Kind of feel like I should call them something else. These people are like Disney extremists or something, I don't know. The first one, like I said, women flock to Disneyland to give birth and get a lifetime free ticket, which is such a bad idea on its face. Like, please give birth in a hospital, give birth where there are like medical professionals around and not like a chipmunk. And the worst part of it is obviously this perk is an urban myth and does not exist. This is not a real thing. Laboring women have shown up at Disneyland in the hope that their bub will be born there and get a lifetime free ticket. But guess what? That perk is an urban myth and does not exist. Important to note, this article is Australian. That's why they're calling the baby bub. They're talking about a baby there. They're not talking about like a bottle of champagne or something. I'm going to Disneyland and giving birth to that bubbly dude, which is also what I call having a fart. I just gave birth to a bubbly. As a veteran of the pregnancy game, I know for sure that the journey to motherhood, okay, that's a weird way to say I've given birth before, or just that I am a mom. As a veteran to the pregnancy game. So you have kids, right? Me? Yep, yeah, that's right. I've done 3 tours of pregnancy. I've seen shit you cannot imagine. The pain, the screaming. Yeah, I've heard childbirth can be pretty tough. The innocent lives lost. Oh. What? The airstrikes. So many civilian casualties. Are we still talking about giving birth? Yes. Laboring women are racing to Disneyland's gates in hopes that if their baby is born there, they will secure their child a lifetime pass. Okay, so the article goes on to describe that there are people that have given birth at Disneyland before, and people have tried to replicate it and give birth at Disneyland, and they've gotten caught, and it hasn't gone well. I do feel like the article is over-exaggerating, though, saying that laboring women are racing to Disneyland's gates. Like, pregnant women have, like, the baby already coming out and they're shoving it back in, like running into Disneyland. There's just like a crowd of angry mothers-to-be banging on the gates in front of Disneyland. Let us in! We must release our spawn! Like making a break to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride to do a water birth. I just feel like they're exaggerating a little bit. I don't know if I would characterize it quite like that. So you're probably wondering how this rumor started. Like, did Disney ever at one point give a lifetime pass to someone whose baby was born at Disneyland? Well, I will let this TikTok explain that.
Today in Disney history, the very first Disneyland baby was born. Rosa Salcedo gave birth to a 6-pound, 10-ounce baby girl on a bench on Main Street, USA, right outside of the Plaza Inn. Can you imagine visiting Disneyland as a family of 2 and coming out as a family of 3?
Yeah, I can actually. But not because I'm gonna give birth. I'm gonna kidnap Donald Duck. You're my child now, Donald. The perfect happy family of 3. Husband, wife, and my uncle Donald Duck, who I've been holding at gunpoint for the past 16 years.
There have been 4 babies born at Disneyland, and all of them have been girls, but only one has their own Disneyland birth certificate.
So that might not have sounded significant, but that's actually how the rumor started. The first baby that was born there, Teresa, got a birth certificate that was just like a Disney birth certificate that says like, this is the first baby to ever be born at Disneyland. And I guess like word got out that this baby got some kind of special certificate, and then people just started assuming like, oh, that's a lifetime pass. That baby got a lifetime pass. And from that moment on, has just been a rumor that if you give birth at Disneyland, your baby gets a lifetime free pass. So honestly, if you're like that big of a Disney fan and you do this, you don't even get a lifetime pass. You still have to pay to go to Disneyland. It's just your baby that gets in for free. And I kind of feel like babies get in for free to Disneyland anyway. Is that true? Children under the age of 3 get in free to all 4 theme parks and 2 water parks at Disney World. There you go. You want your kid to get in free to Disneyland? A better conspiracy would be just pretend they're 3 years old for their entire life. That shit could actually work. The article goes on to talk about a time where someone has tried to sneak in to give birth at Disneyland, and they hid in the bathroom while going into labor until I guess employees had to like assure her that her baby would not be getting a lifetime pass, and then she was like, oh, okay, fine, then I'll just go to the hospital. Once they assured her that she would not be receiving a lifetime passport, she came out and accepted the ambulance ride to Western Medical Center, where her baby was born shortly thereafter. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of sounds like she failed the test. If you know anything about Disneyland, you know how well the cast members there, all of the employees, all the staff, all the people in costumes are trained to like respond to every circumstance. It sounds like you just entered the giving birth at Disneyland experience, and honestly, you didn't make it to the end where you get the prize. It also says that this discussion board, The Laughing Place, has some hilarious forum chats about this topic. So I guess other people have been like sharing stories about this happening on this forum, but when I clicked on it, it turns out that it doesn't exist anymore, which kind of sucks because I wanted to find out more times that this has happened, but honestly, it is probably for the best. Kind of sounds like they were talking about some pretty sick shit in there. You think you're gonna go to a Disney forum and see people talking about like, my favorite movie's Coco, but instead you see people talking about like, I'm gonna give birth inside of Pluto's house. I'm gonna go to Disneyland and get fucked by Goofy, and then Goofy's gonna be the father of my child, and I'm gonna give birth on It's a Small World. And I'm gonna make Elmer Fudd cut the umbilical cord. Is Elmer Fudd a Disney character? I actually don't think he is. But he's gonna be there anyway. And then me and my freak mutant, half goofy, half human child will both get lifetime passes. Free pass for life for my little freak. Passes or not, being born in Disneyland is a pretty cool claim. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. The way this is written, it kind of makes it sound like, so you might not get a free pass, but I don't know, it's worth a shot. You might want to do it anyway, just for shits. I've actually found a little bit of discussion about this on TikTok as well.
Quick question, what's stopping me from giving birth in Disney World? Like in the Magic Kingdom, on a ride, in the Epcot ball?
I think this TikTok in particular is a joke, but the comments under this TikTok are actually very interesting. I went into labor at Disney. They were not cool about it. And people like responded asking her to elaborate, and she goes on to detail her experience going into labor at Disney. And from her experience, it kind of sounds like the second anybody starts going into labor at Disney now because of this conspiracy, the entire staff immediately flips and like makes it their top priority to get you out of the park and like to a hospital to give birth. And I guess that sometimes they can be so rushed trying to get you out of the park that it comes off as rude, but obviously they're just like concerned for your health. They also don't want this rumor escalating of like people giving birth getting a free pass. And also it's just like people in sweaty mascot costumes trying to not deliver a baby because that's not their job. So sometimes I guess it comes off as rude. But the funny thing is, from this woman's entire explanation, it sounds like she didn't even know that this urban legend was a thing. So in her head, I guess she just like broke some unspoken rule at Disneyland that she had no idea about and made the entire staff of the happiest place on earth turn on her in an instant, which is so funny to me. Hello there, what can I get for you? Yeah, can I just get a medium root beer, please? Oh, great. Oh, great, another guy here to put his balls in the root beer. What? Hey everybody, this guy right here is about to pull out his big fat balls in front of everyone, in front of a bunch of children, and put his balls in a glass of root beer. Why would I do that? Don't play dumb. I'm not playing dumb. I am dumb in this situation. You've clearly heard that if you put your stupid fat balls— why do you keep calling them fat— in the root beer at Disneyland, you get to spend the night with Minnie Mouse. Oh, what the fuck? No, I just wanted some root beer. Is that true? No, it's an urban legend. But no matter how many times we tell people it's not true, we still get perverts like you coming to Disneyland, ordering root beer just so they can put their stupid— don't call them fat— fat balls in it. Oh, come on, man, don't cry. I already am. Why do you still sell root beer if this keeps happening? Because if you shit in the root beer, you actually do get a free fast pass for Space Mountain. Okay, I don't want to put my balls in root beer, and I definitely don't want to shit in the root beer, okay? I legitimately just want to drink some root beer. Oh. Sorry, my bad, man. I didn't know. Okay, well, that's literally what I asked for, so here you go. Ah, what the fuck is that? It's Walt Disney's head. You said the secret code, so here's his head. No, root beer. What? I wanted root beer. I wanted to drink root beer. So no head? No. Ah! Overall, pretty disappointing that anyone actually believed this in the first place. In what world would Disney want to foster an environment where mothers are coming into their park, their theme park, to try to give birth? Especially if they're not like billing it back to the person that gave birth and being like, okay, here's your hospital bill, and because it's Disney, it was $1 million. Now, by now, it should be no surprise to you that there are some people in this world that want to spend every waking moment of their lives at Disneyland, especially their most precious moments in life, which is why you can also get married at Disneyland.
Let's take a look at some of the craziest places you can get married at Disney World. Starting at $12,000, you can get married at the Haunted Mansion in Disney World.
But just like expecting mothers trying to sneak into the bathroom to pop out a quick person, couples are of course also trying to cheat the system and avoid paying to have their wedding at Disney. So they'll just like sneak in with like themselves, maybe a couple family members and an officiant, and just like have the wedding in like a somewhat secluded area of the park. Here we have an article that details a San Diego couple sharing their secret Disneyland wedding story. Not many people can say they secretly got married in Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. 2 years ago, Gabriel and Andrea had been saving up for their dream wedding at Disneyland. However, when they began looking for wedding options at the park, the couple said that the cheapest option was $12,000. Instead, they decided to spend their life savings on a house. Great move, honestly. No complaints so far. That's a very wise choice. So Gabriel and Andrea decided to have a secret wedding at Disneyland. The couple gathered Gabriel's oldest daughter, an ordained minister, a witness, and packed their bags, heading for Disneyland for what they called a guerrilla-style wedding. Now, I don't know much about weddings. I've only had one, but I do know that you don't generally want to have them guerrilla-style. Like when we were planning our wedding, that word almost never came up, I don't think. Just imagining them describing their wedding afterwards, like, yeah, it was so romantic. We hid in the bushes for 8 hours in the hot Florida sun wearing camo paint, waiting for the crowds to die down. You know, just sort of waiting out the crowds and the gunshots, the airstrikes. Airstrikes? Then we popped out and I said I do. Happiest day of my life. Here's my favorite picture of the big day. Now buckle up, because this next urban legend is about to get nasty. Quite literally, this is disgusting. Like I said, the most devoted Disney fans would probably spend forever at Disney if they could, but maybe they can. For years and years, the Haunted Mansion has been the home to an endless supply of Disney myths and legends. But the attraction's most prevalent and persistent rumor is that guests regularly spread the remains of their friends and family inside the ride. This can't be true though, right? It is 100% true. Yes, that is right, and I don't want to bash anybody's final wishes. I know that that's a very personal thing, but spreading human remains in a public place that people are like walking around and touching? Please don't do that. Or you know what, I should say, you know, because I feel bad for people who are just trying to honor their dead relatives' wishes or whatever. If you're alive still and you're watching this video and that's gonna be in your will, please take it out. Don't make people do that on your behalf. Honestly, I am a little relieved that people are sticking to like spreading ashes at least, because there are a lot of different ways to dispose of a body. It was actually my grandpa's greatest wish to be laid to rest at Disney. Oh, that's sweet. You're gonna scatter his ashes around at the park? Not exactly. The Haunted Mansion probably has so much human ashes in it, it's not even funny, said one Disneyland custodian. Bleh! That is the nastiest thing. Oh my God. Don't do that. Do not do that. Please.
People scatter their loved ones' ashes in the Disney parks monthly. Can you imagine just like being on a ride and the person next to you is dumping out ashes? Disney employees are literally aware of this too. They have to follow special protocols every time this happens. The custodians are used to identifying and vacuuming up these ashes.
I don't know why I was surprised to hear they vacuum them up. Of course they do. It's a literal human corpse, basically. Of course they get rid of it. The people who are like requesting this happen to their bodies must know this, right? They must know that some custodian that does not willingly work in like a morgue or something is going to have to take care of that. This sounds awful for everyone. If you're the custodian, you have to vacuum it up, but if you're the person that just lost someone you care about, you have to know that they're just gonna vacuum it up. They might even make you watch. They have you come identify all the places that you scattered the remains, and then they just like make eye contact with you while they're vacuuming it up. This is going in the garbage now. We're gonna throw this in the garbage now. Say bye-bye. So when you're laying them to rest in the happiest place on earth, you're actually condemning them to forever in the suckiest place in the world. Yes, that is a very funny joke.
And people will put them anywhere too. Like flower beds, bushes, the lawn at Magic Kingdom, outside the park gates.
Outside the park gates? They'll put this shit anywhere too, you know, outside the park gates, on the highway on the way home, the McDonald's across the street, Universal Studios, shit anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I feel so bad for the employees that have to deal with this, honestly. That would be so scary. Honestly, even as a patron, you know, I honestly like going to Disneyland every once in a while. I think it's pretty fun. But next time I go, I am going to be terrified that I'm like touching human remains at all times. Especially now knowing that they put them everywhere. I'm gonna be eating a turkey leg and wondering like, is this actually some guy's leg?
They're most frequently dispersed around the Haunted Mansion, which is kind of perfect if you ask me.
Okay, this girl's actually a little bit too into it. But now this whole ashes thing, which is not really an urban legend, is actually true, has actually spawned urban legends out of it, as you can see here.
Have you heard of the legend of the crying boy at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland? The story goes a mother spread her son's ashes without permission from Disneyland, and you can see him crying as you're exiting the ride.
Spooky. I wonder why he's crying. Maybe because his ashes are in a vacuum. Maybe because he was a little boy and his mom spread his ashes in the scariest ride at Disneyland. The mom was like, yeah, my son used to love this ride. Every time we would get on it, he would be screaming and crying and shaking because he was so happy and excited. So I decided this is the perfect place for him to spend the rest of eternity. In a rundown castle of pure terror. It's what my darling little boy would have wanted. All in all, it seems to me that Disney, this giant corporation that owns like every media property known to man, has their grubby little fingers wrapped around people a little bit too tightly. It's like you already have every movie and TV show. Do you really need people like begging to spend their entire lives at your theme park also? But even still, with people spreading their loved ones' ashes at Disney, people trying to give birth at Disney just to get free tickets, Disney is still trying their best to immerse you in their parks as much as possible to make you never want to leave. Recently, Disney opened up the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, which is a Star Wars hotel and experience. I think it's like a 2 or 3 day long experience where you are like in this hotel. There's like a story that you have to follow about shit going on around you. It seems very immersive, and to a pretty big Star Wars fan, honestly, it sounds pretty cool. But it is also $5,000, and instead of windows, your room has a screen that just shows a video of outer space playing. So, you know, just keep that in mind that you might go insane while you're in this place. With no concept of night or day, you just have to adhere to the Star Wars pre-approved activities. There's like stormtroopers patrolling the halls at all times. It's kind of like they wanted to build a Star Wars hotel, but they built a prison instead. I read through some of the Google reviews for this hotel. It's only been open for a little bit, so there's not that much to go off of. And honestly, there are a lot of 5-star reviews of people who seemingly really enjoyed it. I did think that this review was really funny. This person gave it a 1 out of 5, and they said, thought the experience was fun, but not worth the price. There are too many missions to keep track of, and you are always missing something. It kind of seems like they got like too immersed in the story and like started to believe that they really needed to complete these missions. This sounds more like the review of a disgruntled employee that like works on a spaceship. There are too many fucking missions, man. There's too much shit to do. The hyperdrive is gonna fail, and I need to fix that. Not to mention the First Order's breathing down my fucking neck, trying to get me to give away the location of my comrade. This place is fucking stressful. I think my favorite thing I've seen come out of this Star Wars hotel is this apparently now deleted ad for the experience that says, strike unlikely alliances in your very own Star Wars story. Apparently when you come in, you can decide if you want to be like on the good side or the bad side. So this ad shows that. Holy shit, this place is metal, dude. This goes hard. It's crazy to me that you actually can choose to be on the side of like the evil intergalactic fascists, basically. You and your preteen daughter can don First Order uniforms and betray one of your favorite characters' trusts, Chewbacca, giving away his location and leading the First Order directly to him, who will take him away to be tortured and then eventually executed. It might be a little too immersive. It might be. We're gonna start hearing people come back and you're gonna be like, how was your trip? You went to the Star Wars hotel, right? And they'll be like, the guilt over my actions will haunt me forever. But I did what I had to do. It was honestly fucking sick. I loved it. And honestly, like, if someone offered to bring me there for free, would I go? Yes, I probably would. Yeah, honestly, I would like to go 100%. I would like to go. And as if living in an intergalactic prison isn't immersive enough for you, pretty soon Disney is going to start offering an even more immersive and even less temporary experience. You may have seen Disney recently announce their Story Living initiative, where they're basically going to be building cities, with their first like test city being built in the desert in California. I don't know about you, but this seems very creepy to me. I don't really know what Story Living entails. They're pretty vague about it in all of the promotional videos.
Story Living by Disney allows us to leverage what we do best: world-class service, legendary storytelling, and creativity. This exciting new venture will enhance, extend, and strengthen the Disney brand by allowing us to bring the magic of Disney to places you may never have expected.
But it does kind of worry me to live in a town where every aspect of your day-to-day life is curated by Disney. Oh gosh, I feel like we have so much chemistry together. Me too. This has been great. This date was a lot of fun. I really haven't connected with anyone like this in a long time. Fantastic. How likely would you be to recommend this experience to a friend? What? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? Performance? I thought you were just like genuinely interested in me, like romantically. Oh, perfect. So a 10 then? I really opened up to you. And you opened up to me. That's all just part of the Story Living experience. It's Disney magic. So that whole story you told me about how sad you were that you had to release your pet into the wild because it had grown to be wild. That was the plot of The Fox and the Hound. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you for riding Disney's Love Connection. Please make sure you pick up all your belongings as you exit the ride.
Are you an animatronic?
Please do not try to fuck any of the animatronics.
Are you
on your
all
way out, and
animatronic?
Have a lovely day here at
Am I the only
Disney
person that
Story
lives here? Anyway, that's the end of the video. It's time to talk about our sponsor. What's up? It's me, a hacker, and I'm so excited to steal your data because you don't have today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. You see, sending data over an unencrypted network is a lot like sending a postcard. There's no envelope to cover up your info and protect your sacred message. So any old creep with a little bit of basic computer knowledge and a little bit of free time can come along and check out all of your private information. I'm talking passwords, financial details, hell, emails. I'm gonna look at all of it. I'm doing it right now. Hey guys, I was just kidding. It's just me, Danny. Well, I wasn't kidding about most of it actually. Just the part about me being a hacker, but the rest of it is true. Oh, there's not enough light on my face now. Can I just sort of illuminate my face with this? Luckily, today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is here to help. Because ExpressVPN encrypts all of your network data with their best-in-class encryption. It would literally take a hacker using a supercomputer billions of years to crack this encryption. ExpressVPN has the fastest speeds out there. They've got 24/7 customer support, and ExpressVPN is extremely easy to use. You can fire it up and get connected with just one click. I've got ExpressVPN on every device that can have it, just to have a little bit of extra peace of mind when I'm out and about, especially on public Wi-Fi. So if you want to find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free, then head on over to the link in the description. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thank you, ExpressVPN, so much for keeping us safe, but also sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out ExpressVPN. When you click on the link, it really helps to support my channel, so thank you for that. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my army here on YouTube. We are a ruthless army whose violence and terror knows no bounds. Please subscribe and turn on my notifications to join, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.